I'm your host, Samantha Stone, and there's a little bit of sunshine outside my window, so I'm in a good mood. Welcome, Scott.
Hi, Samantha. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks.
Right.
This weekend, there were lots of cleanups around the city, right? Couple of places.
Yeah, they did Conservation Day down at the pond. The Cub Scouts were active. The Lions Club very active. Conservation Commission, DPW. Ren, of course, Ren is always there. Rodney Flynn and his group, and a lot of other good people cleaning. John Beauchamp led a nice crew up at the Middlesex Canal, North Woburn, did a ton of work up there. So he's got a great group too. So yeah, a lot of people doing some good things.
I love it. I'm sure the canal really needed it, needed some love and attention. So glad to hear that. And we've got this weekend, I think, is the citywide yard sale coming up. So
yes,
lots of opportunities for people to clean their own homes out.
Yeah, it's going to be 80. So we got some good weather coming up, and good to get outside. Is there something else going on this weekend?
I don't know. I know we were talking earlier about the Hall of Fame induction.
I think Meghan, is there a school play? I think there's a school play this weekend too. I thought I saw that. But
not to jump into your meeting, but yes, it's a school play coming.
Yeah, so that's a good one. It's a Friday and Saturday. That's a good activity.
That is great. Awesome. I love supporting arts. That's really cool. So I want to talk about a couple of things that have been coming up. So one of the things that we've been reading about in the news is that in general, across Massachusetts, including Middlesex County, COVID positivity rates are rising and are fairly high. I don't know I haven't seen anything to indicate hospitalizations are in a dangerous situation, but just wanted to ask you if there are any that we need to know about, or anything that's going to affect us here in Woburn if that number continues to climb.
Well, it's the same thing. The numbers are nowhere near what they were, right after the holiday and during the holiday and the first of the year. So, yeah, I mean, the numbers up. I think our positivity is up over 6% this week. So that's a pretty sizable jump. But not hearing people getting real sick like they were talking back at the beginning. And our vaccination rates are really strong, Samantha. Then they keep inching up. So we're happy with the vaccination rates, and that the vaccine's good for helping people, even though they are getting it with the breakthrough cases, they're not getting as ill. We're not hearing anything alarming from the hospitals at this point, and just continue to tell people to do what they're doing and do what they're comfortable doing.
Yeah, that's great. I know in Arlington, a couple of schools had high enough numbers that they asked students to wear masks. In some schools voluntarily, in other schools they might have hit a threshold. I don't believe there's anything like that in place currently here in Woburn or planned right now. Dramatic happenings, right?
There are cases in the schools, and I'm sure Meghan can give you some stories when she gets on. But I know that the Shamrock had an issue with one of the classes being closed down today because of the teachers, the staff in one classroom in particular. They all had it because they're close contacts. So that was one issue. And again, the school department and the superintendent have been very nimble all through this 2-year period where they've managed to keep moving and address it as it comes. So this will be no different. The difference is we feel that the vaccination rates at the high school are much stronger than they were. I know they've got, I was just looking at them. I think they're 80% fully vaccinated at the high school. Wow. And a number of just have one shot. Middle school, I think we've got 80% have at least one shot, and then, about 74 are fully vaccinated. So the rates are pretty good. And even in the elementary school where there are some apprehensions still to get the shot, the vaccination rates are still getting better.
Good. Well, that's good to know. I appreciate it. I missed this a couple of weeks ago, but I saw that there was city clerk's office were doing a digitization project across a whole bunch of our files, which is a great opportunity, and using a third-party service to help us do that. I know that some files were part of what was sort of holding us up at the Plimpton school because we had a bunch of stuff in storage. Are those two things related, or are they different?
They're part of the bigger picture, and the department heads were up at the Plimpton shredding those documents they don't need. I think we had about 125 boxes that they took out 2 weeks ago. So that's all part of it, Samantha, and you know, getting all of our records digitized across the city is the goal we have. And I think I remember talking during the election, you asked what was one of the important positions that I'd like to have, and that would be one of them, a digitization officer / public records communication. So we're still looking at the budget, seeing if it's possible to squeeze that position in. And, you know, we have a pretty challenging budget this year for a number of reasons. And that would be one position. If I could get in, I'll try to get in. But right now we're not pushing that one, but I'm trying, and I'll know by the end of the week. But the Plimpton, they're still, like we talked about, the fire station's part of that equation too. We have some equipment from the fire department there, and we're scheduled to be opened in October. That's the completion date for the fire station. And, you know, hopefully we will be able to move some of the stuff out of the Plimpton and be ready to take the place down in the fall.
That's great. That would be super exciting. In a past life, I worked for a company that did records management, archiving, and shredding and things. So all of those things make me nostalgic for that job in some ways,
Yep.
a little bit glad that I'm not doing it anymore in other ways. So,
Yeah, no, it's a big thing now for municipalities and businesses to be able to do that. You know, it makes it a lot easier, Samantha, when you're able to digitize all your records and then you organize them on your website, and you know, residents have easy access to it without, you know, waiting 10 days for somebody to go into the records archives and find them. Now you have them right at the tip right on the website, and people can find them readily. So that's what our goal is. We're nowhere near that, but that's what the goal is to get to.
yeah, that's great. It's also a great opportunity to protect them, right? In case anything happens to physical records, you know, this is a really important piece. So great to see the city taking that action and love that. Last time we talked, I think we had talked a little bit about trustees for the library. I think there were two, Larry Rideout and Emily Lipset, whose terms I think technically expired. I'm not sure if those if you've made a decision yet about renewing them or replacing those folks.
I've reappointed Larry. I haven't made the decision on Emily. So I've got 6 over there, and I've got 3 more to go.
Okay, great. Thanks for the update. I think that is, I'm just looking through my notes, make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, I did miss something in a really important one, Scott. I'd be in big trouble if I didn't talk about this. So on June 1st at 10 o'clock at City Hall, you will be hosting a gun safety proclamation, our annual get together that happens at my mother helps organize, and she and I were catching up about the weekend, and I promised that I would help let folks know about it. It's a great opportunity to show support for those folks who have been victims of gun violence, and also just to raise general awareness.
Yeah, so that we're looking forward to that. And you know, your mother has been a strong advocate for I think 7 or 8 years now, and she was there, and I remember we started. It was just a half dozen of us, and it's grown pretty remarkably thanks to your mother. The awareness is out there, and she's done a great job getting people to come down. So we're looking forward to that too.
Yeah, well, she appreciates everybody's support in the whole community, and it's during a weekday, so she knows that that's sometimes difficult for folks, but all the folks who are there just goes to support the folks who have needed it in the community. So glad to have that. Anything else you want to cover before we?
School budget was approved. I was down at the public hearing Thursday. That was last Thursday, so that budget was approved. You know, I think we did a good job coming together on some important issues, and you know, all in all, with the government ESSER funds and the city's contribution to the budget, a number of initiatives were able to be funded. The spending's up about 5.5%, which is something that you know, we're happy about this year, but we all realize that that's the type of spending can't continue, because we're not going to get the money from the federal government, and so we've got some issues to deal with. But right now, they've some important issues have been addressed.
That's great. I think it's really rewarding to see that we are using the money that we've been given wisely by the federal government, and being able to take advantage of that while we have it. And I'm really glad to hear the school budget approves. I know all kinds of things happen over the summer with curriculums and staffing and things that need to get done. So it's good to know that that's all out of the way.
Yep.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Scott, for joining us.
Hey,
Meghan
Samantha.
Patrissi is going to join us now, and we're going to talk about the Tanner Closet and the good work that happens there.
Hi, Samantha. Thanks for having me.
I'm really glad that you're here. First of all, because even though you're my neighbor, I think we need to get on Zooms to see each other because we're both so busy. So it's a pleasant experience to say hello and catch up. But also the work the Tanner Closet does is super important. And I think anything we can do to help spread the word about what it does and who it serves and how we can support it is really important. For those folks who don't know what the Tanner Closet is, it's a run out of the high school, but tell us a little bit more about who it serves.
Sure. It serves any really Woburn Public School family in our district that is in need of anything, really. We've supported families that have gone through homeless situations, medical, unintended or unknown medical issues, domestic violence, just having trouble meeting the week-to-week demands of a family as well. We've done clothing or students that come in from another country that may not have access to winter clothing, and they come in during December and our lovely winters in New England. We supply them with that. We've done mattresses for people that don't have a bed. So we do a little bit of everything. And I say we as in the Woburn community because people always associate the high school with myself, and I work with many different businesses in town, many people like yourself, like neighbors who really just hear about it and they come and donate. So I see awesome things every day. And I'm just the go-between. I have our students that do all the work, really. We have the students that do everything for us. So it's really a great learning experience, and we support so many people in different situations. So.
Well, I think it's really important because we know that it's really hard to concentrate on your education if you're hungry or don't have a place to sleep or don't have a coat to keep you warm. So I love that. I know in the past, the Tanner Closet has accepted donations of suits and gowns to support folks who might want to go to prom but maybe can't afford to purchase it. Is there a need to do that this year?
It's funny, we have done that in the past. We stopped on the prom gowns because we began to look like Windsor at the Burlington Mall. We had so many, which was wonderful, but it was getting too much for us to store at the high school. Suits and shirts, we actually utilize a lot more because we do put a whole closet together for graduation, also senior picture day, job interviews, things like that, where students need to get a suit. Not everyone has a suit, and a tie. As far as we do have dresses and other outfits as well, but prom dresses we've got away from just because of the storing factor itself.
Yeah, that's great. I totally makes sense, right? And so what are some of the other items that you are accepting donations for right now? How can we as a community help support the good work there?
Sure. It's funny. Today I got an email from Miss Carbone, who works in our PEAK program, who really works with our students that shelf and stack all the donations. And she said, have you sent another communication out to solicit donations? And just being honest, I had forgotten. So we're definitely low on the food product end of it. And, things like that are obviously don't expire. We don't have the refrigeration possibilities. But we try and do like meal substitutes, like you might have a Progresso soup with a meat in it because you like to do some protein. We do the pastas and the mac and cheeses and all that. Rice, cereals, bars. We have a lot of students that just don't have the access to food when they leave the building. So we're a little bit of everything. So whatever you would think in your family, in your home, would be something that definitely the Tanner Closet can use. Some people don't have time to shop too. And we do gift cards. We don't do money donations unless it goes through the central office, but they'll do gift cards to Market Basket, and we'll give that family because, sometimes you do need milk or cheese or whatnot that we can't store. So yeah, we're actually in need of food right now. And I think it's my slacking, but we'll get there.
Well, we as a community have done incredible things to rally around needs. So I'm hopeful that you'll get lots of donations to help fill those shelves back up again.
Mhm.
One question I had for you is over the summer, the school is not in normal session. There's certainly things like summer school that happen. Does Tanner Closet stay in operation over the summer, or is it mostly during the school year?
We do the summer. It's definitely a different operation versus the school year because we do the weekly backpacks. And we just don't have the students pack the stuff every week. So what we do is we have people like we had the Cummings Foundation who did grants for their members and they donated to the Tanner Closet. So we'll utilize a lot of that to support families throughout the summer because, you know, during the school year, we all have access to universal lunch, thank God for the government, and they have free breakfast and lunch. But in the summer that stops, right? And accessibility stops. And for those people that they're hungry. So we try and just provide them with you know, gift cards, and we give them options during summer programs of summer school to come pick up when needed. I definitely have an open, that's my role. There's a communication with families in need, and that's what I do most of the summer. And I'll get very strange texts or emails, oh, I need this, and we'll run over, or I'll have a staff member run over and make sure they're provided with it.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for doing that good work. So for those of you who are watching, just a reminder, what we're in need of right now in the Tanner Closet is non-perishable foods, things that are easy and quick, things that people can take on the go, definitely things that don't need to be refrigerated, or they also accept gift cards to a grocery store like Market Basket or like a Target or something if to pick up things. So definitely feel free to do that. Where should those donations be dropped off, Meg?
Sure. So the school building's open from 7 to 3, obviously someone in the front of the building. All you have to do is if no one's sitting there, you can put it right behind the desk there. We have Anna Roque, who's our administrative assistant in the front, does all the organizing, and we have an area there that the students come down and take it from there. So during school hours is best. If you cannot during school hours, you can email me, Patrissi@PS, and I've arranged for meeting people or having our custodians open the door with our night crew. With that said, the best place to find out what we need is on Twitter. I tend to put out my blasts on Twitter, and I always am totally amazed. I can put out Twitter at 5 o'clock, and by 7 o'clock, we have our shelves full again. So Woburn is pretty awesome. That's why I choose to live here and work here. So
I love it. Well, thank you for giving us an opportunity to help. I know there's lots of people who watch who really appreciate that. And Woburn, as always, please continue to take good care of each other.